If you're an artist and you're thinking about using print-on-demand companies like Printify or Printful to put your art on t-shirts, coffee mugs, art prints, if you're thinking about doing this to sell your art, you really need to watch this video because there are so many mistakes that beginner artists are making when it comes to print-on-demand that are ruining their art sales. And I want to help you avoid these mistakes. I'm a full-time artist. I've tried my art on all sorts of different print-on-demand products, and I know what works and what doesn't. And so I'm going to share with you what I've learned over the last 10 years trying out lots of different print-on-demand companies in this video. First off, only use print-on-demand when the barrier to entry is too high for a particular product for you to be able to make it yourself. And what I mean by this primarily is art prints. Art prints are fairly easy to make on your own. I have an entire playlist in the description if you would like to learn how to make art prints yourself. The thing is that they're fairly easy to make, and getting a printer isn't that expensive. And the amount of money that these print-on-demand companies charge for art prints, the profit margin is so much better if you make the prints yourself, that it's a no-brainer when you think about making an art print yourself versus doing it print-on-demand. You should always make art prints yourself, unless there's some situation that from a physical perspective or from a space perspective in your home that limits you from having the room for a printer or being able to physically load the paper in the printer and do the shipping yourself. Now, if there's some physical limitation, then it would be better to use print on demand. But if you have an office or something, a studio space in your home that will fit a printer, and you can make the orders and print them out and ship them out yourself, it's going to be much better because you're going to have more quality control. You're going to be able to have faster shipping in most cases than the print-on-demand companies, and you're going to be able to offer a lower price and have a higher profit margin. So it is much better for your business to do that. But when it comes to things like t-shirts, for example, like you can see I have a t-shirt here with one of my paintings on it. Now, I don't make my t-shirts myself because the printers for t-shirts are so expensive. You will pay $20,000 for a direct-to-garment t-shirt printer. Plus, you have to have space for it in your home. For me, I don't have space for any more printers. I've already got a lot of printers around here for art prints. And I don't have $20,000 to spend. I don't sell enough t-shirts to be able to justify that expense. This brings us to the second mistake, and that is not choosing a good, reputable print-on-demand company. And it's hard to evaluate each print-on-demand company's offerings by looking at their websites online because seriously, their websites look great. They're made to sell to you. And so they look awesome and it makes their products look really good. What I've learned to do is order products from several different companies, like the same exact product. So if I'm wanting to sell t-shirts, I order the same artwork printed on the same type of t-shirt from 4 or 5 different print-on-demand companies. Get those samples in and see which one does the best job. And what I mean by best job is evaluate what shirt looks the best, obviously, but also shipping speed, how they packaged it, and then see how it wears over time. So what I like to do is wash them about a dozen times before I sell them to anyone else through my shop. So that way I make sure that it's not going to fade. Because here's the thing, I've made this mistake over the years. I've had lots of different companies make t-shirts for me, and some of them fade out really quickly. Like the print looks awesome on day 1, but by the 10th wash, it looks awful. And so you want to make sure that that's not going to happen to your customers. And that's why getting samples is a crucial part of the process of setting up a print-on-demand part of your business. Now, some people skip this step because they want to save money, and I would just really suggest not to do it, to definitely always get a sample in, because sometimes the products are really bad, and you wouldn't want your artwork on something really bad that a customer gets, because if they buy something and it's like a shoddy product from you, they're probably never going to buy from you again. Once you get the samples in, you can also evaluate the prices to see if they are worth the quality level that you're getting, because sometimes things will be really overpriced, and you can find a better deal from a different supplier, but you just have to make sure that that better deal is worth it from a quality standpoint and from a shipping turnaround time standpoint. Another thing that you don't want to forget to do is before you ever even create a product, you want to get on Etsy or wherever it is that you are going to be trying to sell your print-on-demand artwork. You want to get on these platforms and you want to see what's already being sold on there, because you don't want to create something that's already out there. You want to be unique. You want to have something that's so cool and different and is also aligned with the pricing strategy of everything else on the platform. For example, if you are trying to sell your cat t-shirts on Etsy, you want to look on their website and see what's available, see what other people are making, see where your potential offering would fit in their marketplace, and make sure that your pricing strategy is about the the same as everyone else's. Your shipping turnaround time is about the same, because as long as you can meet those requirements, then you can be on a level playing field with the people already selling on there. Because the thing is that if you don't have an audience or a bunch of people that you are bringing to purchase from you already, then you are relying on who is on the platform, and you need to be able to compete with them. And this leads us to our next mistake, and this is not knowing all of the fees involved in selling your product. This is not only the fees involved in the print-on-demand company, but the fees involved in Etsy or eBay or Shopify, wherever you're selling your artwork at. Because a lot of times people say, oh, I made $10,000 selling my art on t-shirts on Etsy. But what they didn't say is, well, you actually only took home about 5% of that. By the time you pay seller fees, the print-on-demand product fees, advertising, it's not quite as good as some people try to portray it to be on the internet. And that's one thing to keep in mind, is the pie in the sky kind of dreams of getting rich quick off of no investment selling print-on-demand products. It's just not going to happen for most people. You never know, you could hit on a trend and you could sell a bunch of things. Or if you have an audience already, let's say you have a huge number of followers on a particular social media platform, and you can channel that traffic toward your Etsy shop or toward your Shopify store, then you could do really well using print on demand. But otherwise, most people aren't going to make much on print on demand. So don't get your hopes too high. Don't think you're going to be able to leave your full-time job using print on demand in your art career, because it's not going to happen. It's at most a good side hustle. But if you are trying to make it work, one of the other mistakes to avoid is not listing your work on enough marketplaces. This is super important because you want to have a lot of different products for sale on a lot of different places if you are trying to make money as a print-on-demand artist. This is because it gives you access to more people, and more eyes on your work are more potential buyers, and that hopefully, if you have a good product that you've created, something unique, will hopefully lead to sales. And so don't make the mistake of just putting up, let's say, 10 products on Etsy and expecting it to work, because it won't. You have to have a lot of listings on there. And last, if you are new to some of these platforms like Etsy or eBay, you need to use their promoted listing features, or you need to drive traffic to the marketplaces from social media. You have to promote your shop. Etsy in particular is not going to give you traffic to your store right off the bat. So you can't just set up a shop on there and expect it to work. Most of these platforms expect you to bring a few sales into your shop and for you to prove that you're going to ship out the sales and get good reviews before they start widely showing your shop to everybody on the platform. So keep that in mind, that if you've started a shop and you have a bunch of print-on-demand items in there and it's not working, you need to start working really hard on promoting your shop yourself at first. And know this going in, so that you don't think that it's just going to be, like I said before, an easy get rich quick situation, because print on demand is not that. If you are watching videos of people online trying to tell you that, well, they're not really giving you the adequate truth here, because they have established shops with a lot of experience. If you are a new artist or a beginner artist doing print on demand, your experience is going to be vastly different than someone who has 1 million followers or 100,000 sales on a particular marketplace. If you found this video helpful and you would like to learn how to make your own art prints and avoid using print on demand, make more money for yourself, watch this playlist. I show you exactly how to do it. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.